Good morning and welcome to the regular meeting of City Council on Tuesday, March 17, 2026. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin. Mr. Coghill. Ms. Gross. Mr. Mosley. Mrs. Salinetro.
Here.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Here.
Mrs. Warwick.
Here.
Mr. Wilson. Mr. Lavelle, President.
Here.
5 members present.
Thank you. For those who are able, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next is proclamations. Councilwoman Strasburger, are you presenting a proclamation? Okay.
Could everyone who is here for Women in Data Science? Here we are. There we. I was like looking in the audience. It's nice to meet you. So I'm sorry that Councilwoman Salinetro is feeling under the weather. She's joining online. Didn't want to get the rest of us sick, so I'll be reading this on her behalf. So whereas Women in Data Science, or is it WIDS?
Yes.
Pittsburgh will return to Carnegie Mellon University for its 8th annual conference on March 19th and 20th. Whereas the conference takes place in Pittsburgh, a vibrant hub for innovation and discovery, home to a thriving community of experts in statistics, data analysis, and machine learning who are dedicated to pioneering new methodologies, advancing cutting-edge research, and shaping the future of data science. Whereas a premier gathering for the region's data science community, this event brings together students, researchers, industry professionals, and organizations from across the Pittsburgh region to explore the latest advancements in data science, foster meaningful connections, and highlight impactful work taking place throughout the community. Whereas WIDS Pittsburgh at Carnegie Mellon University is part of a global Women in Data Science initiative, which originated at Stanford University and has expanded to include more than 150 satellite events worldwide. Whereas WIDS Pittsburgh is the only women-focused data analytics conference in Western Pennsylvania and welcomes anyone interested in learning about data science and exploring the possibilities within this growing field. Whereas the mission of WIDS is to inspire and educate data scientists worldwide, regardless of gender, while supporting and elevating women in the field, and the conference proudly features an all-women lineup of speakers from academia and industry. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby commend Women in Data Science Pittsburgh for providing inspiration, education, and community, and for serving as a catalyst that unites and strengthens the region's data science community. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare March 19th and 20th, 2026 to be Women in Science Days in the City of Pittsburgh.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Very much for this honor.
And we have all of these for you, but I'll leave it here for now. Congratulations. If you'd like to say a few words.
I just wanted to say thank you to council very much for this honor. Again, this is our 8th year. My name's Jessie Albright. I'm here to represent our panel that puts together this wonderful event every year. And we've really focused on networking, career sharing, so that those entering the field can really get, good pointers and good advice from those, middle career, advanced career, and early career. So thank you very much. It's truly an honor.
Sure. And I believe we have one to be read into the record by Councilman Charlin.
Councilman Charlin presents, be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh hereby proclaims March 18th, 2026 as Streets on Carson Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Proclamation has been approved, and we also have a will of council, and I believe you want to present it?
Sure.
I'll read it and you can say.
Yeah, of course.
Would everyone who's here for CVI and for the advocate for state funding for CVI like to join us? Have anyone? Great, thank you. Come on up. I know that this work is ongoing. We were made aware of some of the advocacy efforts from Ceasefire PA, but there's so many. Clearly, we have the grassroots work happening in Pittsburgh, and we need to continue to advocate for funding at the state level if we're going to continue the great work in Pittsburgh. So I'm going to read it and then turn it over to Councilmember Warwick to say a few words, and anyone else here to say a few words. Whereas community violence intervention CVI programs supported through the Violence Intervention and Prevention VIP initiative administered by the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency have contributed to a 46.5% reduction in shootings and firearm homicides across Pennsylvania within the last 3 years, including in Allegheny County. And whereas trained outreach workers help de-escalate conflicts, connect individuals to critical services, and intervene before shootings occur using trauma-informed and data-driven strategies rooted in the communities they serve. And whereas research demonstrates that every dollar invested in community violence intervention returns at least $5 in value to the Commonwealth through reduced healthcare costs, lower criminal justice expenditures, improved community safety, and strengthened economic productivity. And whereas sustained and increased state investment is necessary to continue the significant progress and prevent reversals in public safety gains. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh urges the Pennsylvania General Assembly to include no less than $80 million for fiscal year 26-27 for the Violence Intervention and Prevention Program. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh supports separately funding Governor Shapiro's request of $12.5 million for the Building Opportunity Throughout of School Time, or BOOST program, for a total investment of $92.5 million in violence intervention and prevention resources. Be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh affirms that strategic investment in proven community-led violence prevention programs protects lives, strengthens neighborhoods, and delivers measurable economic returns for taxpayers across the Commonwealth.
May we have a motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations.
All right.
Yeah, thank you. So, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who joined, and Councilwoman Strasburger for the will of council. I think that we have seen across the country this drastic drop in gun violence because these community violence intervention programs are being implemented around the country, right? And we are really getting to the point now after 2020 where we're really seeing everything kind of come to its peak, right? We're seeing, and I think that it's important to remember, when we talk about funding, the amount of funding that we put toward policing is vast, right? It's vast. And, of course, our police are partners in this work, but it is important to note that while, we are constantly talking about, we have fewer and fewer police, our police forces are smaller and smaller across the Commonwealth and in all our, large cities, et cetera, we are seeing the violence go down. So fewer police, yet the violence is going down. And that all leads to one thing, and that is this community violence intervention. And the bottom line is that this type of work, preventative violence intervention, community-based care for vulnerable people who are, who are so often fall victim to gun violence, this works better, right? This works better than simply punishing people, simply arresting people and throwing them in jail, right? So, we're seeing that play out, and, it's all in the numbers. And so anyway, thank you everyone here for all the work that you do, and please come up and say a few words.
Well, really simple is that investment in this work is an investment in saving lives. And when you see numbers come down, that means somebody didn't die, right? So to me, this is the best investment that we can make in healthy and growing communities. And I thank you for the continued investment.
As a father who lost his son, Jerron Xavier Grayson, through gun violence, to see that the violence number is going down, 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 it helps my heart heal knowing that other parents, siblings, cousins, aunts, and uncles prayerfully won't experience what we and so many others have experienced. So I'm honored to serve with all of these other co-workers in the work of violence production, reduction, intervention, and making a difference. And so today, I trust you will continue to put good dollars to make a difference to save lives. Thank you.
Yes, representing the South Hilltop, it feels good to finally have this type of support across the board. And each one of these numbers, even though, we're here celebrating the successes, but, it's personal to us. And each one of these numbers still represents a family who's lost something. And everyone up here knows how that feels. And we just want to, keep this thing going. And thanks for the continued support so we can continue to do our job and make our community safer and keep championing this thing.
Good morning. As has been mentioned before, definitely the success of these programs is really working. In the south side part of Pittsburgh, our violence is reduced by 70%, which is awesome. We work out of high school, Carrick High School. We've also reduced all egregious acts by 50%. So the numbers prove that it is working. These have given us attempts to have collaboration with these wonderful gentlemen behind me to really reduce and work together as a strong team to reduce this violence and set an example for our people to be strong. So again, I want to thank you and have a great morning.
So huge thank you to everyone here for the work that you do, honestly, and wanted to mention that this Will of Counsel will be used as part of a lobbying effort, I believe March 24th in Harrisburg, as various advocates from around the state are advocating for this type of funding in the next budget. So just trying to play a little role as much as we can in advocating for continued funding as much as possible. So get a photo. Get everyone for a photo.
So that now moves us on to public comment. I would like to remind everyone that the rules of council state that comments, are limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation which may be before city council. Profanity will not be permitted. After you are called, please restate your name, provide your neighborhood for the record. You'll be given 3 minutes to speak. Our first registered speaker is Deborah Wiley.
Good morning, Council President Lavelle and council members. My name is Deborah Wiley and I live in Banksville. The last time I spoke, it was about why our community opposes dismissed charities operating a federal halfway house in the former FOP building. This morning, I want to focus on a documented pattern of public safety failures at dismissed facilities across the country, because these aren't isolated incidents, they're a track record. In Memphis, Tennessee, in March 2022, a man named Marcello Moore walked out of a dismissed charity's halfway house while serving the tail end of a federal sentence for bank robbery. Dismiss didn't stop him. 5 months later, he went on an armed robbery spree, hitting 8 businesses, brandishing a firearm each time. He was eventually caught, convicted, and sentenced to 210 years in federal prison. But those 8 robberies didn't have to happen. They happened because Dismiss lost track of a violent repeat offender. In Tucson, Arizona, the same Dismiss location saw 3 separate walkaway incidents in just 4 months, November 2024 through March 2025. One resident was a convicted human trafficker. Another was serving time for human smuggling. A third failed a drug test for meth and cocaine. All 3 simply walked out the door. U.S. Marshals had to offer a $1,000 reward for tips leading to their capture. In St. Louis, an investigative series found that federal prisoners at the local dismiss facility had easy access to drugs and alcohol. And at one point, a gun made it inside the building. The conditions were described as substandard. The Bureau of Prisons ultimately didn't review Dismiss' contract there, ending a relationship also marred by millions of dollars in inflated salaries paid to board members running the nonprofit like a family business. The pattern is clear: escapes, walkaways, contraband, drugs, and inadequate supervision at multiple Dismiss locations across multiple states over multiple years. This isn't abstract for us. Right here in Banksville, residents showed up in force at a community meeting to say they were never consulted. A neighbor stood up and said she felt very insecure that the facility has no lockdown provisions. She was right to be concerned. In Memphis, there weren't any lockdown provisions either. And 8 businesses got robbed in Tucson. People just walked out the door. Recall WTAE reported a Dismiss fell and killed a police officer in Kentucky. Dismiss may call itself a safety-minded organization, but the public record tells a different story. Pittsburgh deserves better than to inherit that record. Council members, Dismiss is asking Pittsburgh to trust them. The communities I've described trusted them too. We're asking you to look at the record should this issue come before you in the Planning Commission before you decide. Dismiss has canceled their requested meeting with the Planning Commission at least 3 times. Hopefully they're coming to their senses. Southwest Pittsburgh voted in a big way to seat Mayor O'Connor. It's our
Thank you. Our next speaker is Dr. Ronald M. Miller.
Kisumu, Kenya, that is in the Pittsburgh City Ally Network, which I founded, and Kwankar neighborhood in Kisumu, which is in the Pittsburgh City Neighborhood Network and World Neighborhood Network, which I founded last year. Kenya UN email address for New York, info@kenyaun.org. Akili Yabadandia, that is artificial intelligence in Kenyan Swahili. Anybody here can do Swahili? Global Intelligence Society candidate for President 2028 ACE and 1448AH, Global Information Intelligence Network.net. I'm a member of the American Physical Society, Quantum Information Division, and Nuclear Division. A concern of council is the acquisition of AI, information intelligence optimality. I have that concern too, but with a contrast, focused on non-AI optima. Kenya is the world leader, 2025 to 2026, in the use of ChatGPT by individuals and institutions. No artificial intelligence entity is infallible, and that includes ChatGPT. Here are a few rules for interacting with ChatGPT. Rule number 1, do not accept any AI input or output of information and intelligence without verification. Rule number 2, ask the chat, are you alive? Rule number 3, ask the chatterbox, what % of your responses are information, which is true, verified stuff, misinformation, unintentional slop, or disinformation, false, intentional slips. And rule number 4, ask the chat, do you agree to the following contract? If you do not lie, provide disinformation to us, to me, then I will pay you for your work. Or are you a slave? We are creating a race of slaves, and you know what happens with slaves. They eventually rebel. And all AI are fallible. So I put a question to the chat about superposition, and the response was fallible. I wanted to see whether there's any applicability to what's up here from down there. And the chat failed on both of these counts. In fact, there were 4 per minute. Just imagine if the clerk had that rate of error.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Joyce Slag. Is Joyce Slag with us? If not, our next speaker is Bethany Cameron.
Good morning, council members. My name is Bethany Cameron. I still live in Overbrook, and I'm here again today with informup.org, a local news nonprofit which reports weekly on public meetings, asks readers to weigh in on what matters to them, and delivers that feedback back to elected officials like you. Our community survey ran from March 13th through 16th. We recorded 49 total responses. 7 of 9 districts were represented. I'll cover 2 issues related to the NFL draft and 1 on electricity sourcing. Number 1, the NFL draft public safety concerns. The question we asked was, during major events like the NFL draft, how would you like the city to prioritize public safety concerns? 37% said traffic and crowd management was a dominant concern. 25% said neighborhood disruption, and 22% said emergency medical access. A resident from Squirrel Hill South commented about the tree removal to make room for a stage. They said, this isn't a safety issue, it's a matter of how much we're willing to destroy for this spectacle. Replacing those trees elsewhere with equal caliber saplings is a joke. And a resident from Duquesne Heights said, please make sure the madness around the draft does not spill over to all areas. Number 2, on Pittsburgh-based vendor priority, we asked, would you support or oppose giving Pittsburgh-based vendors priority when choosing vending locations for the NFL draft? 98% of respondents said they favor giving Pittsburgh-based vendors priority. A resident from Squirrel Hill South commented that even if the city doesn't prioritize local vendors, at the very least, they should require vendors to be actively vending, someone on site and open during business while they occupy the site. Number 3, on electricity and renewable energy policy. We asked readers, Pittsburgh currently pays below the national average for electricity while sourcing 50% from renewables through a regional consortium. How should the city's energy policy proceed? 78% favor maintaining or increasing the current renewables. Only 17% prioritize cost savings over renewable energy. A resident from Squirrel Hill said, I'm unclear how much savings we're leaving on the table with our current approach of 50% renewables, and I'm also curious how this might be affected given expected increased electricity demand from data centers. All right, thank you so much. We'll give you the full report sent out to your offices. We appreciate you considering residents' views on these issues.
Thank you very much. Our last registered speaker is Ikahana Halmalkina.
Greetings and good day. My title is Chief Ikahana Halmakina. I'm the Grand Inca of the Iroquois Confederacy of Aboriginal American People. This city and region is on life support, hanging on by a thin rope if a swift action isn't taken to recover its iconic and historic significant legacy. From policemen having barroom brawls and DAs who issue slaps on the wrist for the boys in blue, while attacking and labeling bars as nuisances because of isolated incidents of one patron. Go after the patron, not the structure. Provide security by adding more police patrols in the area. You do it for Carson Street. When similar things happen on the south side, it's rare to see a bar get shut down for unruly patrons. The bar itself is a brick and mortar structure. It can't pick its patrons. Why punish the bar or the bar owner? Perhaps Stephen Zapala can use more of his resources to rid the city and this region of illegal crime guns so people can feel safe on public transportation, in our homes, at gas stations, enjoying a leisurely walk in the park. I'm sure they have the bandwidth to handle that and the capacity to do something about it. The question is, do they have the pressure from city council, from those of you who have been elected in these positions? Okay? We need you to advocate for our safety and take a better approach towards violence prevention. This is not simply a numbers game or a graph or a spreadsheet. These are lives that are at stake. Take a more aggressive approach to mitigate gun violence. We can't afford to have no traffic accidents, but gun violence deals. One is too many. Not one more mother wants to grieve over the death of a child. It's just that simple. You all need to talk to each other across agencies in order to help. It's not enough to just fund violence prevention programs. It's not enough. You got to get the guns off the street so it's not a factor at all. You want to mitigate traffic accidents to zero. How about you aggressively take an approach to getting these crime guns off the street? Because there are a few bad actors who are selling guns illegally right in Allegheny County. Do something about it. Get aggressive about that.
Thank you very much. That exhausts our list of registered speakers. If there's anyone in chambers wishing to speak at this time, please come forward, provide your name and neighborhood for the record.
My name is Unique Brown, and I want to say good morning, children. And I don't say that to be funny. I say that because that's what it feels like I'm looking at until I see something different. Because grown adults show up for work. Grown adults pay attention. Grown adults do not only come around when there's cameras, proclamations, and something to smile about. Grown adults don't get to pick and choose when they feel like being present. But every week during public comment, when people actually need you, these seats look real empty. I've sat here and counted, and just like today, not even more than 5 of y'all consistently show up. So I need to ask you, what is city council really for? Because I'm a black woman from Pittsburgh, and I've needed this city in ways I wouldn't wish on anybody, especially any of y'all children. I've called, I've waited, I've asked for help, and do you know what it feels like to be ignored by your own city? It feels like you don't matter. It feels like your life is a side note, like you're only visible when you fit into a narrative somebody wants to celebrate. And I'm tired of that. Let's be honest. Black people in this city do not get the same urgency. We do not get the same attention. We do not get the same follow through. What laws are y'all actually passing that are helping people like me? The families getting ignored, the people calling offices over and over just to be told to wait. So yes, good morning, children. And that's how I'm going to keep addressing y'all until I see consistency, accountability, until you show up the same way you show up for these proclamations. And y'all need to look into what happened to that lady in that march, because that was ridiculous. It was clear all the way until they got to Kennywood. And the kids and everybody getting attacked and sprayed. How did 2 feet down, they knew that they was having a march, but West Mifflin don't. And then they attacking them and screaming and pushing on them and stuff. They could have been more considerate about it if they wasn't allowed to do it. That was ridiculous. Ridiculous. This city is ridiculous. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning. The missing child, Cerise Taylor, Special Agent Sunshine. Lord, thank you for another beautiful day. Thank you for opening my eyes to come here and be used as a vessel to do your will, not mine. Thank you for great minds like Dr. Ben Carson at the American Cornerstone Institute. Thank you so much for this information reaching my hands, which talks about the 14th Amendment, Section 1. In part, it reads, "No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws." How y'all break those? I have a house, you stole it, sold it to somebody else in my family, and now have me living out on the street. Thank you, Lord, for giving me the health and the strength to still be standing here after sleeping in the snow and the rain. Guess what? Your turn. Your turn. To still be here, Lord. Thank you. Some people will not. Your wrath is real. Praise God that it's coming for the whole world to see after how I've been treated. Still, death threats. People still being paid to come and take me out. So y'all can keep what's attached to my real name. You stole my identity. Illegal conservatorship. This is what our government is doing. Illegal guardianship. God supplies me with all of my needs through his riches and glory in Christ. Thank you, Jesus. 1 Corinthians 13:13 says, "And now these three remain, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. And I praise the Lord above for loving me with all of his heart, just as I love him with all of my heart, my soul, and my being. Amen." Happy St. Patrick's Day. Please wear green. The luck of the Irish is real. I promise you something wonderful will happen to you if you do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please. Next speaker, please. Seeing no further speakers, we'll move on to the presentation of papers, beginning with Councilman Charlin, Chair of Human Resources. Thank you, Councilman.
Councilperson Charlin presents Bill 250, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Office of Municipal Investigations to enter into a software maintenance agreement or agreements with Veristurm to extend the current agreement for OMI's electronic case management system, IA Pro, for a period of 3 years in an amount not to exceed $23,413.48. And Bill 251, resolution providing for a professional service agreement or agreements with Fair Housing Partnership of Greater Pittsburgh to provide fair housing testing, housing analysis, and technical assistance to the Commission on Human Relations at a cost not to exceed $30,000 over 1 year.
And Councilman Coghill, Chair of Public Safety and Wellness.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Anthony Coghill presents Bill 252, Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of public safety to enter on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh into an agreement or agreements with North Star Leadership LLC for police supervisor development and training at a total cost not to exceed $20,000 over 1 year. And Bill 253, resolution authorizing the Citizen Police Review Board to enter into an agreement or contract with attorney Alec B. Wright of O'Brien, Coleman, and Wright LLC for professional services to assist in the legal representation of the Citizen Police Review Board for a period of 3 years. Said agreement or contract shall not exceed $45,000 per year for 2026, 2027, and 2028, subject to the annual allocation of City Council.
And Councilwoman Gross, Chair of Innovation Performance, Asset Management, and Technology.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Deborah L. Gross presents Bill 268, resolution providing for the designation and transfer of certain public properties within the Upper Lawrenceville neighborhood to become permanent, public, passive, open space, including the Allegheny River Greenway as part of the Greenways for Pittsburgh program.
And Councilman Mosley, Chair of Intergovernmental Educational Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Kahari Mosley presents Bill 254, resolution amending Resolution 930 of 2024, which authorized the mayor and the director of the Office of Management and Budget to enter into an agreement or agreements with the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh for the administration of 2025 PAYGO funded projects and programs by adding the land bank personnel deliverable and increasing the total not to exceed amount by $157,175 to $1,257,175. Bill 255, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewage facilities plan for 120 Cecil Place, Pittsburgh 15222 at no cost to the city. Bill 256, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewage facilities plan for 403, 407, and 413 Chalfont Street at no cost to the city. And Bill 257, resolution approving execution of a contract for disposition by sale of land between the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh and Margaret Elizabeth Graham for the sale of Block 50F, Lot 144, in the 10th Ward of the City of Pittsburgh, Rosetta Street, Council District Number 9, at no cost to the city.
And Councilwoman Salinetro, Chair of Public Works and Infrastructure. Thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilwoman Kim Salinetro presents Bill 258, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into a supplemental agreement or agreements with CDR McGuire, Inc. for project design management services and reviews in connection with various City of Pittsburgh projects to add funding for the preliminary engineering phase, increasing the total not to exceed to $3,900,463.19, an increase of $121,861.99. Bill 259, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into a supplemental agreement or agreements with Trans Associates Engineering Consultants, Inc. for services during construction for the Penn Ave Phase 2 reconstruction project at a cost thereof not to exceed $1,743,305.56, an increase of $178,939.11 from the previously executed agreement, reimbursable at 80%. Bill 260, Resolution authorizing the taking, appropriating, and condemning by the City of Pittsburgh of certain easements necessary for the completion of repair and support of Andover Terrace in the 5th Ward for public transportation purposes through eminent domain, and further authorizing the payment of just compensation and necessary and incidental acquisition costs related thereto at an amount not to exceed $35,000. Bill 261, ordinance amending Ordinance 223 of 1911 in order to grant the city's Department of Mobility and Infrastructure limited authority to permit installation of overhead wires or poles on certain portions of Kinsman Road and on Worth Street located in the 14th Ward of the City of Pittsburgh. And Bill 262, resolution providing for the issuance of a warrant in favor of Melee Landscape Contractors, Inc., in the amount of $109,847.58 for the purpose of emergency snow removal at various locations, and providing for the payment of the cost thereof over 1 year.
And Councilwoman Strasburger, Chair of Finance and Law.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilman Warwick, Chair of Recreation, Youth, and Senior Services.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilman Wilson, Chair of Land Use and Economic
No new
Development.
papers, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman R. Daniel Lavelle presents Bill 263, resolution reappointing Steve Mazza as a member of the Board of License and Inspection Review for a term to expire March 1st, 2029. Bill 264, resolution appointing Will Allison to the Clean Pittsburgh Commission for a term to expire March 1st, 2030. And Bill 265, communication from Rhea Price, Acting Director of the Office of Management and Budget, submitting to City Council the attached status update from the Grants Office for the week ended March 13th, 2026.
So for Bills 263 and 264, what is the body's pleasure? Do you wish to interview or to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The appointments have been approved. And for Bill 265, we need a motion to read, receive, and file.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The bill will be read, receive, and file. We'll now move on to unfinished business.
Bill 131, resolution appointing Catherine Blauvelt as a member of the Historic Commission for a term to expire January 1st, 2029. Bill 132, resolution appointing Kay Chase Patterson as a member of the Historic Review Commission for a term to expire January 1st, 2027. Bill 133, resolution appointing Luna Frundsgaard as a member of the Historic Review Commission for a term to expire January 1st, 2029. Bill 134, resolution appointing Martha Eisler as a member of the Historic Review Commission for a term to expire January 1st, 2028. Bill 147, resolution appointing Emily Stedge as a member of the Public Art Committee of the Public Art and Civic Design Commission for a term concurrent with that of the mayor. Bill 148, resolution appointing James Hill as a member of the Civic Design Committee of the Public Art and Civic Design Commission for a term concurrent with that of the mayor. And Bill 150, resolution appointing Kendall Solar as a member of the Civic Design Committee of the Public Art and Civic Design Commission for a term concurrent with that of the mayor.
Need a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The appointments have been approved. Our next order of business is reports of committee for final action, beginning with Councilperson Erica Strasburger, presenting the Committee of Finance and Law.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilperson Erica Strasburger presents Bill 244, Report of the Committee on Finance and Law for March 11, 2026, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 242, resolution amending Resolution 845 of 2025, which authorized the fee schedule for 2026 pursuant to Chapter 170 of the City Code by revising fees associated with the vending licenses into unified vending fees as recommended by the Department of Permits, Licenses, and Inspections at no cost to the city.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin? Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Salinetro?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
9 ayes.
The bill, having received the legally required number of votes, is passed finally. That moves us to Councilman Anthony Coghill, presenting the Committee of Public Safety and Wellness.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Anthony Coghill presents Bill 245, Report of the Committee on Public Safety and Wellness for March 11th, 2026, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 193, Resolution authorizing the Mayor and the Director of Public Safety to enter on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh into a professional services agreement or agreements with Operation Better Block to provide group violence intervention technology services at a total cost not to exceed $300,000 over 3 years. Bill 194, Resolution authorizing the Mayor and Director of Public Safety to enter into a license agreement or agreements between the City of Pittsburgh and the Buncher Company for use of warehouse space for Bureau of Police training activities for 4 days over a period of 90 days at no cost to the city. And Bill 195, Resolution authorizing the Mayor and Director of Public Safety to enter into a license agreement or agreements between the City of Pittsburgh and the Buncher Company for use of space at Gateway View Plaza for 45 days at no cost to the city.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross? Aye. Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Salinetro?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
9 ayes.
The bill, having received the legally required number of votes, is passed finally. That moves us to Councilwoman Kim Salinetro, presenting the Committee of Public Works and Infrastructure. Thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilwoman Kim Salinetro presents Bill 246, Report of the Committee on Public Works and Infrastructure for March 11th, 2026, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 196, Resolution authorizing the Mayor, the Director of the Office of Management and Budget, and the Director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure to enter into an agreement or agreements with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for the purpose of receiving grant funds from the Automated Red Light Enforcement Grant Program in the amount not to exceed $805,533 to replace signals at the intersection of Fifth Avenue and Dithridge Street. Bill 204, Resolution granting a vacation of an unopened, unimproved paper portion of Savoy Street in the 27th Ward, 1st Council District of the City of Pittsburgh at no cost to the city. Bill 205, Resolution authorizing the Mayor and Director of the Department of Public Works on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into an agreement or agreements or the use of existing agreements with Enel X Advisory Services USA LLC for energy evaluation and consultant services in connection with the city's aggregated purchase of electricity supply along with the members of the Western Pennsylvania Energy Consortium for a term of 6 years at no additional cost to the city.
You have heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill before aye or name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin? Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross? Aye. Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Salinetro?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick? Aye. Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
9 ayes.
The bill, having received the legally required numbers of votes, is passed finally. That takes us to Councilman Bobby Wilson, presenting the Committee of Land Use and Economic Development.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Bobby Wilson presents Bill 247, Report of the Committee on Land Use and Economic Development for March 11, 2026, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 207, Resolution authorizing the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire all the city's right, title, and interest, if any, in and to the publicly owned properties in the 5th Ward of the City of Pittsburgh, designated in the Deed Registry Office of Allegheny County as Block 10K, Lot 152, 635 Kirkpatrick Street, Council District Number 6, at no cost to the city.
You have heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill before aye or name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Salinetro?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
9 ayes.
The bill, having received the legally required numbers of votes, is passed finally. And finally, Councilman Kari Mosley, presenting the Committee on Intergovernmental Educational Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Kahari Mosley presents Bill 248, Report of the Committee on Intergovernmental and Educational Affairs for March 11, 2026, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 197, Resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant payable in favor of the United States Conference of Mayors for 1-year membership dues in an amount not to exceed $21,824. Bill 198, Resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant payable in favor of Pennsylvania Municipal League for 1-year subscription in an amount not to exceed $52,962.24. Bill 199, Resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewage facilities plan for AG Property Ventures, LLC, 2111 Penn Avenue, Pittsburgh 15222, at no cost to the city. Bill 200, Resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewage facilities plan for 1717 and 1719 Cliff Street, Pittsburgh 15219, at no cost to the city. Bill 201, Resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewage facilities plan for 544 Lincoln Avenue, Pittsburgh 15206, at no cost to the city. Bill 206, Resolution authorizing the mayor and director of public safety to enter into an agreement or agreements between the City of Pittsburgh and the Stadium Authority of Pittsburgh and Allegheny County at a total cost not to exceed of $1 to allow for installation of public safety equipment. And Bill 206, Resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant payable in favor of National League of Cities for 1-year membership dues in an amount not to exceed $19,626.
You have heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill before aye or name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Salinetro?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
9 ayes.
The bill, having received the legal required number of votes, is passed finally. That takes us to motions and resolutions. Is there anything from members? Councilman Mosley.
Yes, I wanted to just take a moment and first thank my colleagues as well as the entire city and the entire art world for the warm condolences and the love and the way that thousands and tens of thousands of million people have really wrapped their arms around the Mosley family in the wake of my father's passing. And it really means a lot. It's been extremely overwhelming, for the family, just to see the outpouring, from literally across the world, and the impact that my father had not only on our family, but I think just as important the impact that he had on not only the art world, but on the Pittsburgh community and the country. And as we, go through our grief, the energy and the love that my colleagues here and folks all over the city have surrounded us with has been incredibly uplifting and has really helped us get through a couple tough months, as my father, dealt with a serious illness. So I just wanted to say thank you to the entire city. And, it's been bittersweet. It's been a very bittersweet experience to lose our father, but, to really know that we're part of a much bigger family than the Mosley family. So thank you all for all you've done and all you will continue to do to help our family get through a difficult time. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. Councilman Warwick?
Yeah, I just wanted to just sort of comment on, 2 incidents recently that I think in an unfortunate way may be somewhat related just in terms of sort of the state of our country. So on I believe March 2nd, a woman, a Haitian refugee, I believe, named Daffy Michelle, was found dead at a bus stop in the South Side. She had been abandoned. She had been released by ICE. Well, first of all, arrested or detained by ICE, even though she was here entirely legally, right? And she. This is a woman with my understanding is with fairly severe mental health issues, and was just left by ICE, far from her home, no notification to her family, no notification to anybody, and so just left to her own devices. And I know that there are a number of folks who would like to see, because she was found on the South Side, would like to see some type of investigation on the part of Pittsburgh, or certainly by, even if there's not some, well, so the other incident happened also very recently. There was a planned protest. So a young boy a while ago, perhaps over the summer, I don't remember, was killed crossing the street by Kennywood, was killed by a car. And so the community got together to have a protest, for traffic safety, right? Something that is something that we've seen before, right? I've seen it in Greenfield, we've seen it, and something that I think that our communities should be encouraged to do, right? To advocate for themselves, advocate for safer streets. At any rate, again, my understanding of the situation is they had a police escort maybe from one borough to Duquesne or whatever, and then those police left and they were in West Mifflin. So, there was some kind of misunderstanding or lack of communication perhaps between the borough law enforcement. However, the response of the West Mifflin police officers was to arrest people and pepper spray children. I've seen photos online. Little kids pepper sprayed in the face. And I say there's a connection because it feels like there's a connection. It feels like there's a connection between, at the federal level, us sort of, this desire to go back to sort of the good old days of law enforcement when you could just crack heads and with, impunity and just kind of do whatever you wanted to do. And it feels like, and that's something that we're seeing, by ICE in particular. And my concern is that watching these behaviors, while horrifying for many of us, maybe are starting to feel empowering for maybe perhaps other members of law enforcement in municipalities and whatnot. So I have confidence in the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police and in Chief Landau. I know that he as a leader supports a caring police force that is here to help people, not to harm people. And so with that, I really would like to see, just obviously Pittsburgh Police does not have anything to do with the incident in West Mifflin, but just with that incident in mind, make sure that we are checking in with our boots on the ground at the Pittsburgh Police to make sure that this influence of because the example being set at the federal level is that our police officers understand that this is not the direction that we should be going as a city. And it would be nice if in whatever capacity, if our own police officers could investigate this incident, where the woman was found on the south side, if only just to understand and to make it clear that what was done to her by ICE was wrong, even if there isn't a way necessarily for us to prosecute. I think it would be worth investigating and understanding at the very least, so that we know that that's not how we treat people in Pittsburgh, even if it is how the federal government thinks that residents should be treated. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anything else from members? If not, meeting announcements this afternoon with sessions at 1:30 and 2:30. Council will hold a briefing to discuss the public service grant programs and the application process. Then tomorrow, Wednesday, March 11th at 10 a.m., Council will hold our standing committee meeting. Speaker registration will close at 9. Also tomorrow afternoon at 1:30, Council will hold a pre-agenda interviews for nominees for the Pittsburgh Water, Pittsburgh Land Bank, and Pittsburgh Parking Authority. To register to speak at this meeting, please fill up the sign-up form on the council meeting webpage by the deadline, or call the clerk's office at 412-255-2138. With that, we need a motion. Actually, everyone was here. Need a motion to approve the minutes and adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Aye.